Hello and welcome to the Heal Yourself podcast with me, Sarah Dawkins. We share people who've already healed themselves to help you see that it's possible.
Hello and welcome back. Thank you for joining me on this episode. Today we're going to look at self-forgiveness and self-judgment. Our minds contain a version of us that we've developed through our life's experiences. And if we take the time to get to know who it thinks we are by becoming conscious of our thoughts, we'll learn more about ourselves. Our self-talk, our fears, and the mean voice that only we hear show us how we judge ourselves. When we trace these judgments back, it's likely that we develop judgments of ourselves in childhood based on how we were made to feel by what others said or did to us. So it's likely that our mind has been playing these judgments of ourselves over our whole life without us even being aware of them. The opposite of judgment is forgiveness. So what if we could forgive ourselves and set ourselves free of these judgments and just allow love to flow? We need to understand that we create our reality through our thoughts. So when we see our own self-judgments and can forgive ourselves, we let our true self shine through. This allows us to create new thoughts about ourselves. So why not consciously create a new truth that I am fabulous? If we liken ourselves to a battery, because everything's energy, when we berate ourselves and have negative thought about ourselves, we deplete our energy from our own battery. But when we practice self-forgiveness, we refill our battery. So the more we can practice self-forgiveness, the more we fill up our battery. So if we're going to judge ourselves, let's do it positively. The thing is, if we're judging ourselves, we're likely judging others too. And as we become conscious of that fact, let's understand and be kind to ourselves and others. And the more we practice self-forgiveness, the easier it gets. Whatever we have done that we judge, we can turn it around with love for ourselves, for who we are, letting go of the judgment with self-forgiveness. We can say to ourselves, I forgive myself for judging myself, and then fill in that blank. And then continue with, but the truth is, and fill in that blank. There can be times when we look for evidence to back up negative self-talk in our head, and we can end up believing the evidence. And it's because of our biases. They allow us to do this. So we have to ask ourselves, is this really true? Or am I trying to validate my thoughts or this voice inside my head? Remind yourself that others too have negative self-talk, and this will sometimes spill out into conversations. You can hear them judging you from their own life's experiences. Remember, we create our own reality. So if you want something different, you have to forgive yourself, change your thoughts and words and actions. You have the power within yourself to do just that. The more we practice self-forgiveness and release self-judgment, the more our lives will improve as we begin to see ourselves differently. We are the miracles we are looking for. Before I leave, I'd like to share this Native American parable to put it all into context. An old Cherokee is teaching his grandson about life, and he says, A fight is going on inside me. It's between two wolves. One is evil, angry, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, and ego. He continued, the other is good. He is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. The same fight is going on inside you and inside every other person too. The grandson thought about it for a moment and then asked his grandfather, which wolf will win? The old Cherokee simply replied, the one you feed. And the message of this parable is clear. We all have the power to shift our words and actions for a more positive outcome. We have everything within us to feed the good wolf. So until next time, let go of self-judgment and live your life your way, laugh more fiercely and love more deeply. See you next week.
Thank you for listening. Please share this podcast with anyone who you think will benefit. And can you leave me a review wherever you've listened to it to help me reach more people? Thank you.